Hello, my name is Charlie Zhang, and welcome to my podcast. Today, I would like to discuss a topic that has a lot of controversy: video games. Is it useful? The typical answer to that question would be no, it is not helpful whatsoever, and it's just a complete waste of time. This answer seems pretty solid at face value. Most video games don't teach you math or English or any other knowledge in a direct way. But here's the thing. That statement that video games are entirely useless has many flaws. It's also extremely inaccurate in a sense. But before we start, what are video games? To put it simply, they are a type of interactive digital media that the audience, the player, interacts or plays by using input devices such as keyboards and mice, or controllers and arcade machines. Video games are a lot more than just an input device attached to a screen, however. Video games can also be a form of intricate storytelling and can be capable of telling stories otherwise tricky or downright impossible to tell. They have many different genres as well, from first-person shooters to role-playing games to fantasy games to platformers to even some games that exist outside of genres and even more genres to be listed. An example of a video game that has an intricate story is a game called The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is an episodic adventure single-player game, or a game which is only designed for one player, set in a zombie apocalypse where you follow Lee Everett, a university professor and convicted criminal who eventually takes care of a girl named Clementine. Lee then becomes a protective father-like figure who sets out to find Clementine's long-lost parents. Now, gameplay and graphic-wise, it won't win any awards. The gameplay is generic and mediocre, and the looks are relatively bleak. But the story truly shines and more than makes up for that. The game brings you through a roller coaster of emotion where the player makes complicated decisions which can decide the fate of individual characters, which are exciting and unique, which are found along the way, of course. Some characters become close friends, other characters bitter enemies, and it's the relationships or rivalries formed between these characters that really sell the story to you and make it extremely unique. There are even different ways you can progress through the story if you choose different decisions, unique places you can explore, and even different fully fledged conclusions to the game, which are all completely viable. This catapults the game forward in terms of storytelling and even replay value, as the player is encouraged to make different decisions and find different places and ending. This makes it unique to any other media, as you can only go one way. Well, in this game, you can go multiple endings. Yes, in film, sometimes there are ways where choices are set up and a character has to make a decision, a really difficult decision. But here's the thing. Film only portrays one decision. It never shows two decisions. Well, in video games, you can choose different decisions. And instead of going one way or going down one set path, you can choose an alternate route and find something different, something unique. And this is just one example. There are hundreds and thousands of games just like, if not better than this example. Video games are immensely vast and can be as complicated as any other media, such as movies, TV, art, and even books. Saying video games are useless isn't fair. It's the same as saying art or film is pointless. It's not. It's just another form of entertainment. And video games are different because they allow people to actually interact with the story or setting itself. But I also want to talk about something different, another type of video game called multiplayer games. And these types of games, they're a lot more interesting than you think. Multiplayer games are different from single-player games because instead of having one player play through a game from start to finish, we can have multiple players from around the world playing a single game. And they can even collaborate, cooperate, and communicate with each other in order to win. An excellent example of this would be League of Legends, a MOBA, a multiplayer online battle arena game. In a game of League of Legends, two teams of 5 players face off at opposite ends of a map, and they try to essentially obliterate one another. And this game is huge, it is massive. In 2014 alone, 67 million people around the world were playing this game every month. That is the population of France in 2020. And the way people play this game is highly strategical. If you play this game for around 500 hours, you're still considered a novice. This game heavily relies also on teamwork and communication to win. It is strategic to the core and is very chess-like. You have to create openings in your enemy to attack effectively. And that's why many people love this game. People bonded over that experience. Many people became friends online. It's amazing and beautiful how people around the world who never even live in the same country or even speak the same language can befriend each other and have a lifelong bond, especially during these really harsh times. That doesn't stop there. With the advent of new technologies and new software such as Discord and Reddit, player-driven communities are formed, and they can help new players by showing tips and tricks to help them better themselves when they just need to ask. Competitions called esports are also set up where professional gamers compete with each other and can win astronomical amounts of money and fame. It creates dream jobs that offer up a lot of money. Now, being a professional gamer is extremely rare, and for that to happen, one must have a lot of luck and skill. But there are a lot of skills that games can indirectly improve, such as reflexes, hand-eye coordination, and problem solving. It can also improve other skills such as collaboration, communication, leadership, and anger management. It even increase motivation and confidence in oneself. These skills are essential in life. Sometimes video games can also be used to teach us directly about certain things, such as math. An example of this would be Dragon Box, a game about feeding food to a dragon by solving algebraic expressions. But it does this by not showing a single number on screen. This makes the target demographic, kids, want to play this game, as they are tricked by the excellent visuals and gameplay, but still learn algebra through playing, which cements that knowledge in the child's head. Video games are outstanding in the sense that they can be this complex piece of art that sticks in your head for a really long time, or it can be this complicated online community which is always there to help others, or it can be something that really teaches you skills needed in life. So I ask the same question: are video games useless?